Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to Reboot Punjab Women's Empowerment Show. My name is Dali Panasar. I am a Sevadar at the Kalgidhar Trust, Budu Sahib. And on today's show, we'll be talking to you about women empowerment with an exceptional guest speaker. We'll also be talking to you about the Train the Teacher program, which is an initiative set up by the Kalgidhar Trust, Budu Sahib, how you can help underprivileged women become educated through Eternal University. And also we'll be talking to you how you can help underprivileged children with the gift of education through Agal Academies. So before we started this show, I wanted to just recite a quote which to me was really fitting for this show, and it's a quote from Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and it says, "Why call her bad? From her kings are born." And this quote really reminded me of the equality of women, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji always wanted us to remember that the equality between men and women, and how we should remember that in our daily lives, which I thought would be really fitting for today and today's show. I'm really humbled and I'm honoured to have the chance to introduce to you our guest speaker. She is the first British Sikh female to represent Great Britain in powerlifting, where she was also placed in the top 10 at the World and European Championships in powerlifting, and also she's won an impressive 3 gold medals, 2 silver medals at the Commonwealth Powerlifting Championships. And also, she's a fully qualified ACA Chartered Accountant. So I would like to give a big warm welcome to Karenjeet Kaur Bains. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, Benji. How are you?
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I am very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here speaking to you. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. A big warm welcome to the show. We're truly humbled and honoured to have you on our show. We're really excited to speak to you. And on behalf of the Kalgidhar Trust, Budu Sahib, we just wanted to congratulate you on all of your amazing achievements. Honestly, that's absolutely amazing. We're truly humbled to have you here. We're really, really proud of you. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show, Benji.
Thank you so much for having me. It's just a pleasure to be here, and everything that you're doing at the Kalgidhar Trust is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much, Benji.
Oh, thank you, Benji. So for the Sangat at home and the viewers at home, they may not know what powerlifting is, Benji. Would you mind explaining to the Sangat what powerlifting is, and also how do you feel to be the first British Sikh woman to represent Great Britain in powerlifting, Benji?
Yeah, of course. So powerlifting actually consists of 3 disciplines. It's essentially a form of weightlifting. So it consists of the squat. So you place the bar on your back and you squat down to below parallel, and then you get back up. And then you have the bench press, which is often a lot of the men enjoy doing bench press chest day. So that's when you lie on a bench and you bench to your chest, pause, and then you press back up. And then for the deadlift is essentially where you have a weight on the floor and you have to pick up the weight and stand dead straight with it. So that's essentially powerlifting. It consists of 3 different lifts. Just to give you a bit of an example of the numbers that I can lift. So I compete in the under 63 kilo category. I can squat 150 kilos.
Wow.
I can bench press 95 kilos, and I can deadlift 170 kilos.
That's amazing, Benji. Honestly.
Thank you so much. And how does it feel to be the first British Sikh female to represent Great Britain? Extremely honoured and proud to be able to say that I am the first. It was a true honour. I am very proud of being a Sikh woman, representing my identity and my culture. And I always like to, whenever I'm going out to represent Great Britain, make it a point to say, my name is Karenjeet Kaur Bains, to be recognised as a Sikh female, often in a male-dominated strength sport like powerlifting. It's a very powerful feeling. But often, Benji, I know I am the first. However, I hope to use my example to be a role model to encourage more young girls, anyone out there listening to this right now, to get involved in in their passions and strength sports. Because my dream, Benji, is to have a whole army of girls that look like me competing on the world stage for Great Britain one day.
Oh, that's amazing, Benji. Honestly, it is a fantastic achievement. And as you said, being in a male-dominant environment as well, it's really, really impressive. Benji, I know you've recently been to Lithuania for the World Bench Press competitions. How was that for you? And how did you start in this unique sport? How did you first get into this?
Yeah, so I recently came back actually end of October from the World Bench Press Championships in Lithuania. So it was actually my first competition where I competed as a senior for Great Britain. Because before, when I became Commonwealth champion and I became the first British Sikh female, I represented Great Britain in the junior kind of level. And it's when you get to the senior level do you really kind of understand how good you are compared to the rest of the world. So yeah, it was a really good performance. I managed to equal my personal best there. I bench pressed 92.5 kilos. And I placed 6th in the world against some of the strongest girls in the world. That includes like the girls from like Kazakhstan and Russia, you know, like really tough girls that do this full time. So it was very promising as my debut as a senior lifter. And the hope is that in a few years' time, with lots of hard work, that I will be in podium position and hopefully, you know, win one day. And yeah, your question about how I actually got into powerlifting. So I'm lucky to have been born into a very sporty family. The Bains family, we're known for being very sporty. So I actually started my sporting journey in athletics. I was a sprinter. And wow. At Warwickshire level, I used to run the 300 meters. I was 3 times 300 meter champion. I used to throw the hammer as well. I was like the fastest girl at school. I held 7 school records, and but I was equally, you know, the nerdy girl at school, very much into my education. I would have the gutta, as you would kind of have for Punjabi back then, and I would run fast, and people would call me Bullet Bains sort of thing. So I actually transitioned into powerlifting age 17, just to improve my explosiveness and strength for the running, you know, to make myself stronger. I could be a better sprinter. So my dad, I think he always had his eye on me as being a strong girl. He's my coach. He coached me in athletics first. He's a former bodybuilder and powerlifter, so he coached me in athletics. And you know, when he taught me powerlifting, I'd never lifted a weight before in my life. I picked it up quite naturally. You know, the technique and the movements. And within, you know, 3 months, he entered me into my first competition, which I won. And then, yeah, I never looked back. I feel like this was my calling. So, yeah, it's been an amazing journey, very rewarding.
Oh, wow, Benji. And to say that your whole family is quite sporty anyway, it feels like it was something that you were always interested in when you were younger. It was one of your passions, one of your dreams. Like that's so nice, Benji. And well done on achieving the level at the competition in Lithuania. That's fantastic, especially competing with other strong women from different countries. As you said, that's incredible. Well done, Benji. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Benji, like, what has contributed to your success? Like, has your Sikhi faith helped you?
Yeah, definitely. I would say my Sikhi faith has helped me keep me very humble and grounded. And kind of, I see myself as like, I hope to see myself as a role model for young people out there watching. I almost see the talent that I've been given to lift as, you know, a gift from Vaheguru. And then he's given me this gift for a reason, and I need to almost, as I see it, as my form of seva. If I can be an inspiration for any child out there, not only to pursue their education, because, you know, I've done that side too, but also their passion sportingly. I see it as my form of seva. If I can help lift someone up, if I can help inspire even one child out there to follow their dreams and encourages their parents to kind of help and support them, then I think I've done my job. But yeah, I see it as a form of seva. I've been through a difficult journey, you know, getting to, you know, the world stage. I've had an injury that lasted me 2 years once, Benji. When I was 19, I hurt my piriformis muscle, which is like your left hip/glute kind of muscle. And it knocked me out of competitive sport for like 2 years. So before that stage, I'd represented England for the first time at 19. I'd went to the Commonwealth Games in Vancouver for the first time. The England team had their eye on me. I broke 2 British records. I was going to be the next big thing, but often sometimes in life you have to go through a roller coaster, and that's when I got injured not long after. And I had a couple of other things happen in my life, and like personal things happen in my life, and it was really then that kind of my Sikhi was my saving grace. It was kind of, I would pray and talk to Vaheguru and be like, I refuse to believe at 19 that I'm going to give up, I'm going to retire. And if it wasn't for my Sikhi keeping me focused and grounded, I don't think it would have got me through that tough time in order to see, there's good things coming. Like if I didn't keep working hard and persevering, I would have never have seen, winning Commonwealth, becoming the first British Sikh female. So even when I go out to stage, Benji, I like to do a prayer. I talk to Vaheguru in my head before I go out there, almost saying like, please give me the strength today to do, justice to my hard training, whatever your jo bhi thoda hukam hai, whatever is your will. I accept it, whatever's going to happen at this moment, and just let me do, my family proud, the community proud. With my performance today, and you feel strong because when you go out there and you see the crowd roaring, it can be quite scary. But if you feel like Vaheguru has your back, you become fearless. So I think it's helped me in many different ways.
Wow, Benji, that's so beautiful. And it's something that you've said, that whatever you do in your life is to always remember Vaheguru, which I think is so nice, because whenever you think of Vaheguru, you will always make a success of whatever you're trying to achieve, which is what you just said. I think it's beautiful that you you do this lovely prayer before you get on stage, because it is quite daunting, isn't it, to see so many people and be part of this competition. So just remembering Vaheguru probably makes you feel stronger, and that what, I am going to win, I'm going to achieve this. So I think that's really nice, Benji. And like as we were talking, like it reminded me of our Sikh history, the women in our Sikh history that always taught us about these types of values as well. And it reminded me of like my Bagel, for example, who went out in the battlefield and was always strong and inspiring. And so it just reminded me of that, Benji. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. We have so many fearless role models if we look back into our Sikh history that we can draw upon. As Sikhs, we're known as the warrior race, and to have kind of female role models, especially my Baggo being part of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's bodyguard and leading armies, that's amazing. And I think these are the kind of role models our community, especially girls, should look up to. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's it, Benji. We need to create more my Baggos in this world. So Benji, tell me, Benji, who has been your inspiration in your life, Benji?
I would say actually my inspiration came from home and my family. First of all, I would say growing up in athletics and everything, I've got 2 older twin brothers. They were 400 meter hurdlers at national level when I was a little girl. I used to see them racing around the track, often in the same race sometimes, and just absolutely inspiring me because they look like, warriors, just like going over the 400 meter hurdles is an extremely tough event. Often they call it like the man killer event, because it's just, you got 400 meters as a long sprint, then you have hurdles on top. It's like a real test of one's character. And I remember seeing them and thinking, wow, this is absolutely incredible. And I was inspired by my brothers. But not only that, I think female role model, I would say I'm inspired by my mother. She has always inspired me for many reasons. My mom actually came from a family of champion wrestlers. But back when she was a young girl in Punjab, like her older brother was a champion wrestler, well known. But, she always had dreams for her education and sport. But she never got a chance to pursue those dreams because back then unfortunately, it wasn't the done thing. And her parents thought they were doing the best for her by not sending her to school, which was a bit far away for her safety sort of thing. So she always kind of had a dream that one day she's going to pursue her sporting dreams and her education. So it's almost like Vaheguru's will, I guess, that, she married my father. She came to this country at 19. She grew up seeing us kids doing really well in sport, and she always had it inside her, like, I still have this dream, I still want to do something. And my dad always encouraged her, her husband. So actually, I think if you come to us, when you see on the wall, we have all our pictures of our brothers racing. You'll see like in a glass, actually, loads and loads of old medals, and actually she's got the most medals in our family.
Wow.
My mother. So as a master's at her mid-40s, she won 5 golds and 4 silver medals in the Warwick Championship, in like throwing, javelin, shot put, discus, like even sprint events. She was doing high jump, she was doing the pole vault. Like, I think she held the record of the most ever medals won at a competition by any male, female at that championships. So she had the back page of the local newspaper during that time, and it said Super Mum Manjit's, like 5 gold medals, and I was also there, but I only had 2 of my medals, so she did better than me. But yeah, she's always been like an inspiration to like never give up. She's getting into like even lifting now. I think you might even see Benji in the future, her getting involved in lifting on a national level. She could represent Great Britain. I think she could even win a world medal, quicker than I can, because she's just got the talent, and you can compete in those age categories, Benji. So any aunties out there, watching, thinking that their sporting days are gone, please like kind of look to my mum's example, that it's not over. And even with education, she came to this country fully literate in like English now. When she speaks, you wouldn't even know that she's got no accent. She works in HR now, and she worked all the way up to get to that position. So I think it's fantastic, Benji, especially, what you're trying to do for women's education just relates to the story of my mother. And I think it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic, Benji. And it's so inspiring to hear this story about your mum, and that, you feel inspired by your mum. They say a child's first teacher is their mum, and it's so true. And it's so nice to hear your mum's journey and how she's come to this country, and as you said, she still wanted to pursue her passions, her dreams, and is competing, or has competed and has won gold medals. And it shows that with women, it doesn't matter what age. If you, like you said, if you still got a dream and you want to fulfill it, you can do it. You can achieve this dream. And it's so nice that you feel that your mum is your biggest inspiration. Like that's really nice, Benji. That's really honourable. But Benji, also, I just want to say, like, I know you've got a coach, and so what role has your coach played in your success? Because I know you've got an amazing coach as well.
Yeah, so my coach is actually my dad. So he's been my coach since I was a little girl. It started all the way from when I was like 4 or 5 years old, helping him carrying the shopping in, the big milk cartons, kind of getting my strength training in sort of from that age. But yeah, it just started out as play, sort of, as I mentioned, seeing my brothers kind of absolutely amazing in the 400-meter hurdles at like national level. I just started out kind of, being very curious about sport. I used to be in the long jump pit playing with the sand as a little girl, or when they were doing hill drills with their hurdles, I was quite shorty, and I was like going under the hurdles. Like it started out as fun. I always think that the greatest gift that a parent can give their child is their time and their investment. I think the amazing thing about not only my father, but my mother, both parents, any sports day, all the way from when I was a little girl throwing a beanbag, they would come and show their support, all the way to, me being at sports day, like national competitions, internationals, the whole family is there. So yeah, I think even with my father, he's had an incredible story himself. Similar to my mother, when he was a young boy, very, very talented football player. He was scouted for clubs including like Aston Villa, Coventry, Wolverhampton. They wanted to sign him up when he was a schoolboy in football, to play professionally. But back then, he went to his father and he said, look, I want to do this. But his father said to him, show me one player that is in the Premier League or any of these divisions that's a coloured player or an Indian player. And obviously there weren't many at that time, probably one coloured player or something. So his dreams kind of got crushed at that point. He's an engineer now, and kind of went down the traditional path, but later on got into like bodybuilding and competed. But I think he never wanted that for his children. He never wanted, and that's why he pushed us so much. And because he saw how passionate I was, never made any difference between me being a girl and my brothers. You could see how hungry I was to want to win and succeed. And he pushed me probably even more than my brothers. And I think I always see the relationship between me and my father similar to the story of Dungle. You must have seen the film. I think maybe our story will be the next Bollywood blockbuster. You don't know, but often people refer to our story kind of that. I'm very lucky to have a relationship with my father, like very close, and it's a special bond because often you have the father-son relationships, but you don't have much to bond over with a daughter sometimes in our communities, and we bonded over sport. So I'm very, very blessed, very lucky, and my only dream is that other children out there have parents as amazing as mine.
Well, that's so nice, Benji. So it's so lovely to hear that you come from a really supportive and sporty background. Benji, like, how did you even get onto the Great Britain team? Like, what's it like to get onto the team? Is it quite challenging to get on? Do you have to go through many hurdles to get on? How did you get onto the Great Britain team?
Yeah, it was a very long journey, to be honest, to get onto the Great Britain team. I started out, obviously, as I mentioned, into my powerlifting journey when I was 17. I said, I first represented England in the Commonwealth Games at, 19 years old. And then I suffered, a 2-year injury. So it was a whole huge roller coaster in my life of everything that I had to go to kind of achieve the Great Britain kind of singlet. It's called the outfit that we wear. I often call it like a adult baby grow because it's kind of like a vest and shorts combined. You wear with a t-shirt and everything. And I think the true honor about representing Great Britain in powerlifting is the fact that you can't buy that outfit. You can't buy that singlet. It has to be earned. And I think for me, it was even more special because I went through such a journey. I went through an injury. There was a point where I thought I'd never lift again when it was really tough times with my injury. But, it was points like that. My dad sat me down and he said, to his daughter, Karen, you're like the phoenix, you rise from the ashes bigger and better than ever. So you can't give up. And, as people, as Sikh people, or hardworking people, we don't give up. So I had to go all the way from, rehabilitating my injury, kind of injuring it again, coming back. Like I went, Benji, from lifting really, really over double body weight squat to like lifting the empty bar, and I was in excruciating pain sort of thing. Like I had to start all the way from like square one again. And when you're a top athlete and you've been at elite level, it's a very much a mental game, trying to like not be scared of the weight that hurt you. So it took a lot of perseverance, determination to kind of get back to a level where, I had to go all the way, the confidence that I once had as a young person, I had to build that all back up, going from like national competitions, winning national competitions. So I remember actually I did really well when I was about 22 in some of the national competitions, and I got asked to go to the British trials to have a go. And when I actually went to the British trials and performed, I thought in my head, I didn't do very well. I was thinking, maybe they're not going to be impressed. I had doubt in myself, but it wasn't long after that I got a letter through the post saying that I've been selected to represent Great Britain in Sweden at the time at the World Championships. And Benji, it was just such an amazing feeling to have that, to think, the journey that I went through. I just leapt into my dad's arms kind of thing. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, because it was like similar time that I found out I became the first British Sikh female. And I was thinking, how am I going to do this? Because it was my final year of my university exams as well, Benji. I was doing my degree. So It was very tough to kind of manage my studying and training for the World Championships. A lot of discipline when you see everyone having fun at university and stuff, but that you've got certain goals that you need to achieve and meet. And I think it was keeping myself humbled and determined. I managed to actually got a first in my degree, so that was really good. and I represented Great Britain. So that was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I think it's just kind of never giving up. I often think like you might go through tough times, but you don't know what good days are coming for you. So you need to just soldier on, and yeah, absolutely amazing feeling. I'm lucky to have, I think, I've got 3 Great Britain singlets in my possession now. So you get one at the World Championships when I went in Sweden. I went to the European Championships in Lithuania in December of 2019, and then most recently as a senior, I got another one to go for the World Bench Press Championship. So yeah, I like to I might hang them up somewhere or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I always was curious about the uniform as well. Like, how do you even get that? But it's nice to know like that's how it works. It's like a gift, isn't it, from them saying this is your gift for representing Great Britain, and nobody else has that uniform. It's amazing. But also you mentioned like all the struggles that you went through, obviously with your injury, and then getting yourself back up to the level of like competing again and studying. Like, wow, how, like, with your mindset, how did you achieve that? Do you have any tips for people who are maybe watching that feel like how did she do that? How did she study and get through the injury and compete? Yeah, Benji, have you got any tips on mindset?
Yeah, of course. I think the first kind of tip is it's not easy. 100% not easy. Like, you've got to be willing to kind of put in a lot of hard work and kind of have your goals in mind. Because especially I was studied at Durham University. So I'm from Warwick. I was away from home. It was up to me to kind of manage myself, manage my own kind of time. And, because I didn't have my dad there watching me all the time to make sure that I was getting my lifting done. It was on me. I knew I had a coach in Durham to help me. So Alex, so yeah, he was he was almost like a granddad to me, looking after me when I was in Durham, helping me and kind of making sure I did what I needed to. But Benji, I could tell you like a typical day in my life sort of thing. So I actually, I became a chartered accountant, but I got a scholarship with one of the big 4 accounting firms. I worked for them as an auditor for 5 years as an accountant, and like they paid for my ACA as well. So fantastic. On top of that, I was competing on like international level. So very tough. I mean, a typical day was me getting up early in the morning, say 6 a.m. Then I would study for a few hours before I would have to go to work. Say I would work from like 9 a.m. to like maybe 5:30, and then I used to work in London Canary Wharf, so I'd be commuting on the tube with my jawler full of my gym kit because I'm going to go train at the gym. So I'd be in my office wear, and then I have my gym stuff with me. So then I'm already tired from my day. All I want to do is go home and lie down, go to sleep, but I know what I need to do. So I would train for like a couple of hours, and my training sessions are not easy. Like literally you're dragging yourself out on your hands and knees at the end, that you have to be pushed till probably say 10 out of 10 is you're going to faint, probably operating about 8 or 9 out of 10 of that intensity of training. So I'd be training at the gym probably till like 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock. I was still finishing up my bench press. And then I would go back and I'd have to, eat my dinner, shower and everything. Then I've got another couple of hours of studying I have to do. And then I could be studying till maybe 1 in the morning, Benji, and then I've got to get up, probably get 5-6 hours of sleep, and then do it again. And I did that for 5 years. And you can sometimes go a bit mad, like living that kind of life, because it's very disciplined. It's almost living like a monk, I would say, kind of, the set regime, set kind of thing. But I believe in visualization. I believe that you write your goals down, and I had it on like my wall in my room. This is what I want to first. I want to, have these certain targets I want to lift at the competition, and that's what every day I looked at it, and that was what kept me motivated, because, there's a lot of blood, sweat, tears even. It gets really overwhelming and stress, and, there's a heck of a lot of pressure, because I put myself under pressure because I want to do well even in my academics and kind of sport. But I think any advice would be, have your goals in mind, manage your time, kind of be worried that there are going to be distractions. Like there were lots of social events that I had to miss out on, going out with friends, or like, pick maybe one thing a week that you can kind of do with friends, but know that if you want to get anywhere in life, it's sacrifice, and that's how you kind of do it. But yeah, Benji, I have no regrets.
Yeah, no, amazing. And we can see that from all your achievements. You know, it takes perseverance, strength, determination. But as you said, it's in your mind as well. It's your mindset, remembering Vaiguru, and a combination of these things, you know, will make you successful, Benji. So thank you for sharing that. Like that's fantastic. I hope it helps the Sangat, you know, and gives them some tips on how to achieve their goals. So Benji, like, there's something I wanted to ask you. Have you ever had any funny encounters or anything funny that's ever happened to you during your journey? Like, has anything funny happened?
Oh yeah, too many things. Yeah, I think I would say 3 things probably that come to the top of my mind. Yeah, so the first kind of funny story I would say is actually when I was 17, when I went to my first competition, as I mentioned, Benji. So I walked into the venue with my 2 older brothers by my side, and you know they're big guys, they're athletic, they're strong looking, and the referees, they were from, you know, our community, and they come up to me and my brothers and they said, "Are you 2 looking to compete today?" As in,
Your brothers,
they were like, no, it's my sister. They suddenly just look at me like a petite girl. I'm not kind of sure how to respond really, because I've never seen like an Indian girl kind of doing it. And you know, when I won and I did really well, I was almost kind of lit a fire in me that this is I want to do it to prove that girls can be strong. You know, why I want to break that misconception. You know, often I get overlooked just straight away. Oh, Indian Kuri, she's not going to be any good. And I kind of like to break that stigma. So yeah, that was quite a funny story actually. I always like, it makes me laugh looking back. At the time I was probably very annoyed, but yeah, looking back it just makes me laugh. Another story is when I was 18 years old. I went to my dad's old gym. So he had a gym that he used to train at when he was, you know, 28, peak of his physical fitness, really absolutely incredible physique, you know, where he trained in this old school gym, nothing fancy about it, you know, mainly men train there, very testosterone filled. Like when you walk into that gym, you see like men kind of like peacocking around. There's so much arrogance and ego going on, and I think they almost had a heart attack when a little girl walked in with her. So yeah, I remember there was actually one of the elderly gentlemen who was one of the owners of the gym. I think he came up to my dad just trying to be sly, saying, you know, I'm not sure there's dumbbells small enough for your daughter. You know, this is mainly like a really hard man's gym. I'm not sure we've got the right. I'm not sure you guys are lost. And my dad, because they didn't know I was British champion at the time, and I was just almost laughing to myself a little bit. And then my dad, he said to the guy, he's like, I'm not sure you're going to have dumbbells big enough, if I'm a mate, to be honest. And I remember I had a heavy deadlift session that day, and just the faces of shock, I'll never forget. It was just too funny. I wish I had a camera, because they just, I think, any conception they had about a female and weights just completely flew out the window, because I was stronger than most of the guys there, Benji. And I was like, even like half a pound, and I think a lot of them probably just humbled them a little bit. So that was a funny story. I think the final kind of thing I would say is I often get, like, sometimes when I'm talking, I'm 25, obviously they're going to ask kind of the Rishta question. I get a lot of that kind of comment, like, obviously I'm a powerlifter, I'm strong, sort of thing. Probably going to scare any potential suitors or something. But yeah, I always find that funny, because first of all, like, I hate the idea that as a South Asian female of our age, you know, that we're kind of defined by our marriage, like whether we're married or not, or looking. I'm like, first of all, who cares? If I'm too strong for them, that's their problem. So that's always quite a funny response. But yeah, I think they're probably thinking like, oh, she's probably going to throw the bill at them, like, but yeah, these are quite funny stories. I think I like to have fun in life and laugh about these things, because, like, you know, I'm breaking barriers, and obviously some people are just going to find it very different, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I love the story. I love the story where you said, like, going into the gym and, which is natural. Like, men would think, oh, she's not going to be able to pick that weight up, but actually you could pick up the biggest weight. Like, that's just so funny, Benji. You must have been laughing inside yourself, thinking, oh gosh, okay, here we go again. And then it's a shock for people then to see you lift that weight. They'd be like, oh my god, how is she doing it? Because they imagine like short as well, so the towards compared to men, so they're probably like, wow. So that's so funny.
Yeah.
They've been like really funny stories, like, honestly. It's so nice to hear that, that you are having fun on the way, in your journeys. Like, it's brilliant, and that's what life's about as well. It's about having fun and enjoying yourself, and everything we've talked about, is so inspiring, and just so, just to hear about all your success, like, wow, that's incredible. Not only to get a first in your degree, and also, being, part of Great Britain, representing Great Britain in powerlifting and achieving your gold medals there. It just shows, how you can achieve things if you really put your mind to it and you're dedicated. And there may be women watching the show here that feel like that want to achieve their goals, they want to be successful, but they don't have the opportunity to do those things. They want to study, they want to fulfill their dreams and their passions, but they don't have the opportunity to empower themselves. But Benji, as we've talked before, the Kalgidhar Trust have an initiative which empowers women. And they have the Train the Teacher program, which is an incentive that offers women a chance to become educated, a chance to train to become a teacher, which is fantastic. Once they are trained as a teacher and qualified as a teacher, they can then go on to get employment at the schools, at Girl Academies, part of the Kalgidhar Trust. So it's an incredible incentive, and it's £30 a month to sponsor a woman, to empower a woman. £30 a month, that's like £1 a day, Benji. That's like nothing if you think about it, to help them achieve this dream, this goal that they've got in their hearts. And the most amazing thing as well, Benji, this initiative is linked to Cambridge University. Like, how amazing is that you would have an opportunity to have a degree which is linked to Cambridge University, which we probably don't even get that opportunity here in the UK. So like that, that is fantastic, Benji, and like, being an accountant by profession, Benji, why do you feel, and what are your thoughts? Why is it important to empower women through education? Like, how important is this, Benji?
I think it's incredibly important. I mean, Benji, if I'm thinking about it, education has opened so many doors for me, that I'm so grateful that kind of my parents pushed me to not only pursue my education, but also kind of pursue my sporting dreams. So I like to always think there was actually a Bollywood actress who said a quote once, and forgive me, I don't remember her name, but I remember her saying that, as a female in life, it's really important to have financial independence. And the way that you can get financial independence is through education. Like, they say that, as a little girl in life, you're always relying on someone. So as a little girl, you're relying on your father. When you're married, you're relying on your husband. And when you're a mother, you're often relying on your son, sort of to help provide and look after you. And I think the fact that a lot of these women taking part in this program that you guys are sponsoring, Train a Teacher, sometimes they don't have a male in their life to go, well, you don't need a male in life to support you. You should be able to support yourself, sort of thing. They don't have that opportunity, and to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, to look after their families through education, and pull up their family maybe out of poverty into like a better life, and to inspire their children as a female. Look what I can do, I'm a teacher. I think it's absolutely incredible. I'm a huge advocate for education. I've been involved in the Malala Fund, actually I was one of their game changers. So these were people that were doing very well in education and sport. I was featured as one of the 20 women in the world to look out for young women. I'm also going to be a contributing chapter to Malala's upcoming anthropology, her book, which is coming out in April of 2022, where I talk about education. I talk about my mom's journey as well in education and my own. So I think, I'm a huge advocate for education for girls, especially, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think, they said that in order to win anything in life, sometimes all you need is a pen. You need a pen, the ability to write, learn, read. You can write, you can understand contracts, you can build a better life for your family. Like any skill in the world, you need to be literate, you need to be able to do well. And I think, as a teacher, I was always respectful of my teachers, because I wouldn't be where I am today without my teachers. Teachers often, they call it the guru, sort of thing. A guru in your life is a teacher sometimes. And they say, without your teacher all the way from a young age, it's a gift that you give someone. And I think to be able to train as teachers is also a form of seva that people are doing. My Babi is a teacher of young children, and I see the impact that she has on people's lives. So I think it's really rewarding, and I cannot support this enough. So yeah, I'd really encourage the Sangat to look into it, see the power of education, because we're lucky in this country, Benji. We have things very accessible, but I always think there could be a girl out there smarter than me, stronger than me, way better than me, but unfortunately she could be born into a poverty and she didn't get a chance to pursue her dreams like me. And if those are one of the girls out there who benefit from this program and they can pull themselves up and they become the next top leaders in the world, then haven't we done a good job in life?
Yeah, that's it, Benji. That's amazing, and it's exactly what you said. There's so many benefits for women to become educated, and these women, perhaps in Punjab, perhaps they don't have the opportunity. They're from low economic backgrounds, or their family can't help them financially to become educated. So it is really important. What are your thoughts on the benefits? One thing I could think of is that it helps them, it opens the doors for them. Like teaching is such a global qualification that you'd be able to then, teach in Punjab, but then you may have an opportunity as a woman to teach in another country as well. Like how do you think what do you think the benefits are, Benji, for this program, like this train the teacher program?
Yeah, I think the benefits of the train the teacher program are, unlimited, to be honest. As you said, the fact that a woman can almost rise from her position, wherever she's born into, and rise through sheer hard work, determination, applying herself, doing the hard work, and be able to get out of any situation that's difficult in her life, be independent, be able to look after herself. But not only that, often they said, the daughters, they're the ones that are looking after the parents often, they're the ones, and if they're able to go back and say, to their parents, look, I've earned this money, I did it myself, honest living, Sikhi's all about an honest living. And I think teacher is one of the most amazing careers, because you're changing lives. You're not only changing your life, you're changing the lives of all the children that you teach. And these could be future, leaders in the world. And they would one day say, it was that teacher who believed in me, who made me believe that I could achieve the world. And I think, not only that, I think we were talking about it before, Benji, about, was it one of the students, the girls from this program actually rose and did really well and is at a top university now, I think you mentioned. Yeah,
we had a success story, and she did the program and now is in America with an amazing qualification, and is with, I believe, one of the top computer companies. So it just shows, as you said, Benji, we can create the next leaders. How do we know? Just by sponsoring a woman, empowering a woman, we don't know where they're going to get to, Benji. And it's just as you've said, it's just empowering a woman to become successful and be able to help her family as well. That's even more amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as a woman, sometimes even particularly in the India society, unfortunately, I wish it wasn't the case, but women, they are not treated the same as men. They're often not seen as equals, and to be armored often with education, that they can defend themselves, look after themselves, and often put these traditional people with traditional views in their place, because they're educated and they're able to fight back and argue and hold their ground. I think is an ultimate gift. And in order to get the playing fields equal between men and women, because often you see young boys, they get all the education, they're going to go to whatever university they want to go. But often with our kuriyan, my mother's story, she wasn't given the chance, because often sometimes parents, they're looking to get them married, or they think that's the right thing for them to do for that child's future. But girls are no less. I think, as Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, believing in equality of male and females, we are both the same. Please put the effort into your tiya as well, because the daughters can rise, and the future can be very, very bright for them if you give them a chance. So I think education is the key. I'll always believe in that.
Oh, amazing, Benji. Yeah, amazing. And I know we've talked about this before, but you have got an amazing vision, and you've got something in your heart which is so beautiful, that you want to help children with sports. And I know when we spoke before, you said you really want to help children in Sahib with teaching them sports. And Kalgidhar Trust also have another initiative which is sponsoring a child's education. Again, this education is value-based education. So they learn Sikhi values, they learn Gurbani, and at the same time they learn their education as well. So that's fantastic. And the whole purpose of this is to create good global citizens. So Benji, as an accountant and as growing up with education and growing up with Sikhi values, why do you feel this is so important for children to have this type of education as well, Benji?
Yeah, definitely. I think, everything that you guys are trying to do with the teaching the children in this program as well is incredible. Sikhi values, I always hold close to my heart. They teach so many amazing things in life, equality between male and females, the act of seva, being selfless and helping in the community and everything are all qualities, being hardworking. So yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing. And as I was mentioning, I would love the opportunity once to actually assist in Burusab at the Kalgidhar Trust with the schools. As I mentioned to you before, my kind of dream is one day. I always think I want to be the first female Sikh world champion one day, but I don't want my goals to just be centered around myself. I don't see that as my purpose in life. I almost want to have some sort of legacy or some sort of seva I can leave, because I'm not going to be here forever. One day I'm going to be gone. But what have I left in this world that has made a difference? And my dream is, to go there to help the children in the Kalgidhar Trust. I always think in sports, especially girls, I would love to teach them self-defense, powerlifting, even athletics. But then, championing that with their education, so they're nice, well-rounded individuals. How amazing would it be that you create the next world leaders, Olympic champions, because you invested your time and money? And if I could be one of the people to help them and encourage them, inspire them, that they can look up to, or they might not know of me, but when I go there and actually in person do this seva, I think it's absolutely incredible to help set up schools out there that will stay forever, that you're helping especially underprivileged children who don't have the opportunity. I think is kind of my calling in life. I hope one day to be able to say that I've done that. But I always I know I'm young, but I like to dream big. I like to think that what kind of lasting legacy can I leave on the world? And coupling all this with Sikhi values. I think, Sikhi is such a universal religion. Even if you're not born into Sikhi yourself, you're from a very diverse backgrounds. I know in India there's so many diverse backgrounds, different religions, but Sikhi values, they're so universal. And, Guru Nanak Dev Ji told us to be respectful of everyone's religions, and we're all the same. Ek asi sare, we're all one. So I think it's all universal. It's not even kind of segregated to just a certain thing, and I think that it makes it even more fantastic.
Yeah, that's so nice, Benji. And yeah, of course, we welcome you anytime you want to join us and do any seva. It'd be absolutely amazing, because I know I can feel it. I can see it in your heart, in your eyes. You're just I'm so passionate. I want to help people. I want to do the seva. I think that's beautiful, Benji. It's such a honourable thing to do. And as you said, you want to leave a legacy. So yeah, that would be amazing. You could join us anytime, Benji. Thank you so much.
We can talk about that, definitely.
Of course. And having that gift of education, these children, they perhaps are orphans, or they come from families that have financial difficulties, or their parents are divorced, or even their farmers' children, and they all deserve that gift of education as well. You know, they deserve to have that gift, Benji. Don't you think they have the right to education as well?
Yeah, I think, the gift and the right. I think sometimes I think children of this country in particular, they're not very grateful for often, the education, everything is so freely accessible. Every child goes to school, you have to go to school. And, when you see children out there in Punjab, because I've been there several times as a young girl, I used to go, and I think it really, opened my eyes, because my ma's here in Punjab. I'm fluent in Punjabi, I can read, write, so I can speak it. It's like, I really love the culture, I embrace it. But when you go there and you see the children, underprivileged children, you can see how hungry they are to be better, to do better. But unfortunately, they got no tools in their hands to be able to do any better. But you can see in their eyes how much they want to, do better and be better people. So I think, education, if that's the greatest gift you can give anyone, because you're able to pull yourself up out of any situation, get yourself a good job, earn money, and then not only that, you're helping lift your siblings up, lift your family up, and then the next generation is going to be better, and then you educate that generation, the next generation is going to be better. So I think it's a lasting legacy. You improve one child's life, it's going to improve the whole even community or village. So I think this Seva you're doing is so amazing. I can't really compliment it enough, to be honest.
Oh, thank you, Benji. Thank you. And it's really easy to sponsor a child, and it's also really easy to sponsor a woman as well. I don't know if you had a chance to see the website, www.educatetosave.com. We can put the links up on the screen as well for the Sangat to have a look at. But it's so easy for you to be able to, offer this gift of education. If you go on the website, you'll be able to see that. What are your thoughts on that, Benji? Have you had a chance to look at the website as well? What did you think?
Yeah, I did actually have a chance to look at the website, and I saw everything. I love the fact that, you have profiles of the children, you're able to see their faces. I think that's really powerful, because you're able to see exactly who you're going to be impacting. And I think understanding from what we were talking about before, Benji, how, you interact with the child, you're able to see, they send you messages saying how they're doing, with how your sponsorship is doing. And I think, in this world, we spend so much money on things we don't even need. If we're too materialistic, we spend things on like that Starbucks every day, which is like £1 that we probably don't need. We can have jar from home, but we want that Starbucks. We put that money towards something good, and sponsoring a child, it's gonna make you feel good when you go to bed at night and you did something good and you did some seva, and someone out there is thanking you because of you. They're able to have this gift and have education. So yeah, definitely, I've looked into it. I'll be looking into sponsoring, trying to sponsor a child or a teacher myself. I think it's fantastic. I think you got to lead by example in life, if I'm able to assist any way, even financially, or going out there myself and assisting in person, whatever I can do, I will, because it's good to do, like as you said, the amount of money per month, I think you said £30 a month or something, it's like £1 a day sort of thing. Like, you don't even you spend that anyway without even trying. Like, it's probably even like a very cheap phone bill sort of thing. So when you put it in context, it's really not amount of money. So I know as a community, we're very generous as well. We like to give towards charity and good causes. I mean, it's part of our principles as well, like Dasavand, 10% of your earnings, you should kind of look to give to charities. So I think if you can kind of do it to a child, like, you have all these concepts nowadays like children in need, save the children. Well, this is directly impacting children in Punjab. And, the fact that it's from somewhere so holy, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's trust, in that holy place, and like right to the roots, to the children living there, I think is, so honourable, and touching in with your roots as well. It's only good things can come surely from this kind of seva.
Yeah, that's so nice, Benji. Yeah, and as you said, lead by example. Sponsoring a child, sponsoring a teacher to have a better life. And it's as you said, we spend money, £30 a month. Naturally, would spend it on. You could spend it on anything here, but to to give that money to, a child's education, or to train a woman to become empowered, become a teacher. Wow, what an amazing gift. You can say to yourself, wow, I've actually helped another human being. And then naturally your life becomes better because you're helping somebody else's life get better. So it's like a universal effect. And the main purpose of this is for us to get out of these cycles of poverty, so that we can, encourage children and women to become more successful. And really, that's the purpose of it. And, message to Sangat, if you want to sponsor a teacher, you want to sponsor a child, the links will be on the screen. You can look at www.educatetosave.com website. As Karenjeet Benji has told us, it's really easy to go on there, and it's very easy to use. You can see the children profiles, and you can have a look. And it is so nice because you do receive messages from the children, and they'll say thank you, and they'll keep you updated. So that's the really nice thing about this, Benji, as well, is that you constantly get updated as well with how well they're doing. So that's really nice too. So Benji, I'm really sad about this, but we are nearly coming to the end of the show, and it breaks my heart because I'm enjoying this conversation with you so much. I don't want this show to end, but I know for sure that we'll be doing many more shows with you. So this is the first of many shows. Before I end the show and conclude the show, do you have any messages for the viewers, for the Sangat? Do you have anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, definitely. I think, first of all, I just want to say to yourself, Benji, thank you so much for having me and being able to speak about such important topics with you. Not even education, extremely important. But, it's been an interview that's been much more well-rounded than just my powerlifting. It's talked about different aspects of my life and kind of education. I think it's fantastic. And I think, drawing on that education point, I really encourage any Sangat out there watching, seeing this interview, hopefully enjoying this interview, to kind of really look into the website, www.educatetosave.com, see the children's lives that you can improve, see the teachers' lives that you can, improve. I've been on there. It's really, really easy. Please consider, doing something good in with your day and helping, especially, children. I think the greatest gift you can give a child, I'll say, is an education, and to give them the opportunity to have a better life like we have in this country and we're blessed to have. So please think about it, give it a good think. If anybody wants to talk to me about it, of course, as well, on my Instagram, Karenjeet_Bains, you can find me on there. And if you want to talk about anything about education or how I thought about this whole initiative and everything, then always welcome as well. But thank you so much, Benji. And yeah, I really hope people do listen to everything that we're saying.
Yeah, absolutely, Benji. Thank you so much. And before you go, I do have one small request. And I know a lot of people have seen this, and I was wondering, what is this signature pose? And can I do this pose with you? But not only that, perhaps the Sangat want to do the pose with you too. Maybe want to send pictures in. I don't know, but can I do that pose with you? Because what is this pose, Benji? Tell us about the pose.
Yeah, I think this pose is I feel like one day, when I get married, if I ever get married one day, I'll probably be doing this pose on my wedding day as well. So I like to do the double biceps pose. I do that anywhere, even if I'm dressed up in my lehenga and suits and everything. So yeah, I'd love to see I'm going to show you in a second, but I'd love to see any pictures of anyone trying out there, especially any people are trying. We should have pictures and see if we can have maybe a competition who did it best, I guess. So yeah,
that would be brilliant.
So kind of this.
Okay, there we go. Fantastic. That's brilliant. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And honestly, that was brilliant. One of the things that I wanted to do, so thank you. But just from behalf of the Kalgidhar and myself, Benji, I just wanted to give you a huge thank you. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We're so humbled and honored to have you, and we wish you all the success in all your future endeavors, your competitions. We're here to support you. The whole community is here to support you. You are a true true leader, and you've become like a true Sikh role model for our women. And I don't have a little sister, but if I did, I'd want her to be just like you. You are such an inspiration. You are such an amazing person, and that. Thank you so much, Benji. It's a true honor to speak to you and have you on the show. So thank you so much, Benji, for coming on. Thank you.
My pleasure, Benji. Like, you can consider me as your little sister now from now.
Oh, that's okay.
But yeah,
Brilliant.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
And to the Sangat, thank you so much for watching the show. Like, we hope that you really enjoyed this show, and us talking to the first British Sikh woman in powerlifting. Like, that's amazing. I know for me, I'm truly humbled to have this opportunity with Benji, and thank you all for watching the show. If you'd like to sponsor a child and you want to sponsor a woman for Train the Teacher program, the links will be provided, and you can on www.educatetosave.com. And help us to give that gift, as Karenjeet Benji said, give that gift of education to a woman, to a child. At this time of year, it is about giving and donating and giving really. So please have a look at the website. Please help us on this mission to help empower women, help empower children, and thank you so much. And for the end of the show, from Karenjeet Benji and myself, we want to say thank you so much, and Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.